Peas on Toast is the hilarious debut novel about being young, talented, and confused in the city of gold, Johannesburg. Peas is a typical big city girl, works hard, plays hard, and leaves a trail of destruction in her wake. I'm joined by author Lorian Clemens to tell us more. Welcome to the weekend, Lorian.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Now I'm going to start off with the main character, Peas on Toast. Now, what an original name. How did you choose this name?
Well, you know, it's a gourmet dish in the UK, apparently. I didn't know that for a long time as well, and it's actually very delicious. But it was a traumatic sort of thing for me, because when I was 15, my mum went on holiday. My dad had to look after me, and not being a gourmet cook himself, he basically made me toast, put peas on it, and told me to smush them in with his fork.
Okay.
So it just stuck in my head, and I thought, well, it's something a bit different, something a bit original, and I don't know. It's very random. Yeah.
Now tell us a bit more about Peas.
Peas, I think, in the book, she comes across as quite a sort of hectic, chaotic character, someone who's trying to find herself amongst working hard, playing hard, friends, breaking up, hooking up, you know, just I think a lot of it is what people go through in their 20s, and I'm sure a lot of people can empathize with it as they go along.
Sure.
But very chaotic sort of drama queen, if you will, and trying to find peace within herself and find her way in that path.
All right.
The characters are all inspired by different people, and some are true to their characters, some aren't. I mean, my dad, I would say, is probably the truest character in it. He's quite an eccentric, very lovable but eccentric fellow. Julia is inspired by one of my best friends, who is Italian and very flamboyant as well.
Sure.
Calls a spade, and, you know, tells me to shut up when I need to shut up.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are a lot of true characters, and then there are other characters that I've sort of taken bits and pieces from people I know and just put them together. And then there's some characters that are completely fabricated.
How would you describe your writing style, and who ideally would you say is your target market?
I'd say it's quite a sort of light and fluffy, humorous style of writing. It's always how I've written. I write like that on my blog. I write columns, so I try and make it, well, I don't try and make it funny, but it comes across as sort of light and fluffy and slightly humorous. And I think my target market would probably be people in their 20s and 30s, people who are still trying to find their way and can empathize and sort of go, oh, well, jeepers, I went there last week and I did this last week.
Yeah. All right. Now, the story is set in Johannesburg, but, you know, it really could apply to any big city in the world. As you know, your modern 21st century working women navigate the rocky roads of, you know, life and love.
Yeah.
So is this what you set out to achieve, you know, to make it as relatable across, you know, as broad a spectrum as possible?
Yeah, I think so. I think what I really liked about the beginning, when I first started coining the book with my editor and Pan Macmillan, my publishers, was that we kept the Joburg element in, because I think in South Africa there's not a lot of sort of Bridget Jonesy, Sex and the City literature. I mean, we've got a lot of great literature, but it's not sort of this market. So it was something very different, and I like to keep the Joburg picture in it so that people can look at Joburg as another sort of thing, not as a big bad city, but people have fun here too, just as they do in London or anywhere else, you know.
Definitely. You know, now Pea's journey of self-discovery is one that's truly, you know, many of us have had to or are yet to experience. Now, seeing as you've written the book, you know, any advice to all the Peas out there who are just, you know...
still finding their way.
Yeah.
I'm still finding my way too. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes. I wrote the book when I was 25, and now, ripe old age of 28, I think I've learned a lot. But I think it's just a matter of, you have to go through this stuff. You have to go through a learning process, and you know, you're going to get your heart broken, and you're going to work hard, or you're going to work in a job that you might not like, but you come out at the end wiser and hopefully a better person for it.
Sure. Are there any similarities or truths in Pea's story to your own life?
Absolutely. I mean, I'd say that Peas is based on a caricature or a persona of me. I wouldn't say it's 100% me, and I wouldn't say that it's not me at all. Definitely a big character element is just like myself. But yeah, and there are a lot of turn of events that have happened, and there are a lot in the book that haven't happened, but I think very relatable to my life back when I was 25, absolutely.
Okay, so then what's different now then?
Not much, actually. I think I just handle things a bit differently now. I think that's
older
important.
and a bit wiser.
Hopefully.
Step by step, now tell us about your blog. I understand you have a blog, Mushy Peas on Toast, and it's very successful. You've won a couple of awards over the years as well. Tell us about those.
It's been quite a surreal journey, my blog, something that I didn't expect to sort of get into the public eye as it has, you know, and the awards have been terribly flattering because it's people actually want to read it. So that's amazing, you know, and it wasn't intended for that in the beginning. It was sort of a venting page. So, yeah, I enjoy writing it. It's my creative outlet. I write every day. It's a nice little community. It's support. It's all sorts of things. So it's become a daily part of my life. Yeah.
All right. You say that it's your venting space.
Yes,
What were you venting about?
Oh, I vented about plenty on that book.
Sure.
Anything from bad cell phone reception to bad hangovers to wayward lovers. I'm kidding. Sort of.
Yeah.
But I have, I've rant and a rave space, you know. Now at the moment I'm using it as a travel diary. I've just come back from overseas. So, you know, it's just a creative outlet, and I love writing, so it's a nice medium in which to do it. Yeah.
And the awards you've won? Did you name those?
Yeah, I won a Blog Off award, I think, a couple of years ago from News 24. And then the others have been Blog Awards, which in the beginning I didn't know what that was. And it's a South African Blog Award in different categories, for writing or humor or a post. I wrote a post that they gave me an award for. So it's very nice, very surreal sort of experience, but nice, yeah.
Sure. And family and friends, what have been their reaction to the book?
You know what, very nice, which was great. I mean, I went overseas for 3 weeks recently just to sort of get away from it all and to try and reflect on what's going on. But really nice feedback. They said they've had a good giggle, they've had a lot of laughs. It flowed, which I liked.
Sure.
So that's been nice. You know, they said it was good. So I trust them, and I'm very happy.
All right. Yeah. And a sequel, perhaps?
I'll definitely write another book, but I can't promise it'll be a sequel. We'll have to see.
Well, thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
That was Lorian Clements, author of the inspiring Can't Put Down novel, Mushy Peas on Toast, reminding us that there most definitely is life, and sometimes even a greater love, after that breakup we think we could never survive. For SABC International's The Weekender, this is Refilwe Muilo.